What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bleav in Clippers. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms: YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter, and Instagram, where you guys can find all your great coverage for the best LA Clipper podcast out there. Do not want to miss and go LA Clippers. All right, so we back with another episode today. If you guys did not check out our last episode with Clipper Soul last week, go and check that out. Very, very entertaining. That is the sports figure and ambassador for the Los Angeles Clippers, Clipper Soul. Great interview with him last week. Go and check that out. But we back with another one this week. We bring 2 to 3 shows a week for y'all, man. So we got a lot of content to go with the NBA season starting up, training camp starting up next week, and media day is quickly approaching. Mrs. Mint J is on the set. How you doing, Mrs. Mint J?
I am doing wonderful as usual. How you doing, B?
Oh man, always good. How does it feel for the season to be finally starting in Clipper basketball? I want to see all. What do you feel about that? How you feel?
It's so exciting. It's like right around the corner. Media day is like a hop, skip, and a jump, and then training, and then the first game. It's like, dang, it just flew right on by. I guess we had stuff to do this summer with the arena and the concerts and all that stuff. Kind of helped us with the time, but I'm super excited, man. I'm ready for football to be done so we can focus on basketball.
What is your favorite part of the media day, training camp, or preseason? Which one is your favorite if you rank the 3 in order?
Preseason, it would be first. Preseason game would be my first because the players are really friendly at those times if you get to go to any preseason games. Then it would be media day. And then what was the other one?
Training camp.
Training camp. Yeah, training camp's only a couple of days, so that ain't really nothing. You practicing with each other, and you basically trying to fight to get that position that's open. So that's not really anything. But the preseason and the media day is what I get excited about.
Yeah, training camp used to be like a week, and now they done shortened up to 2 days and all this. I'm like, what's up with that? I'm like, I
How
thought I
can
was
you
supposed
train?
you can't even get ready for the preseason by, I guess preseason is when you get ready, not even training camp. So
Yeah, but still, we still want to win our preseason games. People say no, preseason game don't matter. It matters.
preseason don't matter.
It matters to me. I want all the dubs.
I want all the dubs, and I'll be playing in the championship this year. Hopefully, we can get that done. But we have to talk about something that could be a monkey wrench in our plans yet again. Yesterday, a report came out from Shams Charania highlighting that our star small forward, our superstar small forward, our guy, our franchise player, Mr. Kawhi Leonard, has been put on a procedure this past offseason in May that he got after he had knee swelling, which kept him out of the 2024 playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks in the first round. It says right here, Clippers star Kawhi Leonard underwent a procedure on his knee. In the offseason, sources tell me and Law Murray, shout out to Law Murray, Clippers beat writer. It says right here, the Athletic reported Tuesday that Leonard underwent a procedure on his knee in May that made it 3 right knee operations in 4 years for Leonard. In 2021, the 33-year-old underwent surgery to repair a partially torn ACL suffered in the West semifinals against the Utah Jazz. Mint, opening thoughts when you hear that?
So, of course, I'm the voice of reason. I had to break down that whole little thing, that whole statement that he did. Now, I Bleav in these writers, and I Bleav that they're saying everything that they should be saying. But I also think that they overhype stuff. Now, Kawhi, I don't think Kawhi got anything that was big because he got it in May. And it's what, September? So why are they waiting until now to bring it up? Because the season is about to start. And then the other thing is that when I looked at it, I said, procedure, why wouldn't they say surgery? Because in his other situations where he was injured, they say Kawhi underwent surgery or Kawhi had surgery on this. This situation, they said he had a procedure done. That could be anything. And then the procedure was based off of swelling. So what type of procedure can you get with knee swelling? That's not surgery. That's just the needle going in there and pulling that juice out and seeing how it does after that. So I think they just overhyping it and just want to have us in the news because they hate on us all the time. So why now? I don't know. What did you think?
Uh, so we talked about this yesterday morning, and you said what you just said is what you told me on the phone. It's like, BJ, they didn't say surgery, they said procedure.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, there's two different things that I did research on: a procedure and surgery. So the main difference between procedure and surgery is that a procedure is less invasive than surgery and doesn't usually require cutting the skin.
Mm.
Now, why is that important? Well, when you talk about Kawhi Leonard and his knee injury history, you're talking about the torn ACL, the torn meniscus, where they had to take out cartilage
Mm-hmm.
out of his knee,
Mm-hmm.
which pretty much means you're going to be going bone on bone the more cartilage you take out. That's the
Mm-hmm.
cushion in between the bones. That's what we do not want. We do not want more cartilage taken out of his knee. So when you talk about this right here with the knee swelling and what you told me yesterday, you said BJ, a procedure can mean anything. Doesn't have to mean cutting in the skin. And by the definition we just put up right here,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't usually require cutting the skin, and swelling doesn't really require you having to repair anything. So I'm gonna go with you in saying there was no real actual surgery done because Shams would have actually said it in this report.
I think so too. I think they would have really said surgery, like underwent. Want to make sure. Look at operation. you know, they want to point out when something like that happens. So I don't know what really brought this up. I don't know why this has been brought up.
That's why I mean my second question. Why are so many people up in arms saying Kawhi needs to retire and Kawhi Leonard is the whole get around with Kawhi every single
Yeah,
time he has anything. What do you think this is about? Do you think people just don't know what's going on, did not actually read the fine print, or you think people just over exaggerating, people hating? What do you think it is?
I think it's a combination of haters. It's a combination of fear. It's a combination of just people not liking the Clippers and not liking the fact that Kawhi is with us. It's just so many different scenarios on why they hate on him like that. They know what he can do. They know who he's better than. They know who has no competition against him, and they don't want to admit that. So they like to hurt us by talking about Kawhi so negatively, thinking it's going to affect us in any type of way. But Kawhi could care less about what people say about him. He could care less. He's glad to be a Clipper, is what Frank Lawrence said. So I love that.
So you're saying it's a combination of everything in one. And
Mhm.
I was like, man, hold up.
Not the
What
hands in
what
the air.
I'm like I'm like, damn, like ESPN, you got all these ESPN insiders like Bomani Jones and of course Stephen A. Smith. He got this little hate with Kawhi. I don't know
Yeah,
if he don't want to give him an interview or what it is, but he has always had it out for Kawhi. But a
yeah.
lot of these people on these television screens and these content creators are just basically Kawhi needs to hang it up. Now, me myself, I did do it live yesterday on my other show, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Go and
Hmm.
follow that. The Pull Up Basketball Podcast. That is my other private uh podcast that y'all can follow on YouTube.
Hmm.
Mrs. Mint J has hers, Black
Yeah,
Love and Basketball Podcast. You can follow her on Spotify.
yeah. I should
But
follow you, B. I
my
follow your
voice,
podcast.
that's why you my favorite.
Yeah.
But my frustrations is not with this report. I don't think this report is the biggest thing. I think it's the more so the Clippers being too secretive and not saying exactly what's going on and
Hmm.
not being transparent with the fan base. Mint, have you felt that same frustration with the last few years? The Clippers have not been transparent.
I think differently because I don't think everything needs to be said. I don't think a person's health needs to be under a microscope like that. Like you can't tell a person how to heal. You can't tell a person what type of surgery they're supposed to have. You have no knowledge of that. So I feel like us wanting to know about a person's health, we only supposed to know so much, right? Like you supposed to keep the fans calm and keep them cool. You don't want them to be all upset. Like that's what they're supposed to do, I think. So whatever's going on with Kawhi, if he had surgery or not, it's not up to me to decide if it's my business to know or not. I don't even know if, as fans, we're privileged to that type of information. What are they supposed to tell us? What are we privy to? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, I think like you make a good point, but I feel like for the last few years with the injuries, even okay, remember the playoffs when he tore his ACL in
Mm-hmm.
2021, and they
Mm-hmm.
said there were reports that he can possibly come back. Clippers never shut that down. They never said that his injury was torn ACL until after the series. Some people would say that may be gamemanship, but my thing is, why hold something if you know he's not coming back? If there was a chance of him coming back from the injury, okay, yeah, gamesmanship. Try to keep your opponent on their toes, but
Mm-hmm.
if you know deep down there's no point, I mean, what are you? You're really just hoping that they can win without Kawhi. So if he's not coming back at all, like, what's the point of even trying to play this cat and mouse game?
I think it's just to keep just to give us hope, just possibility that he may come back is better than he's not coming back. Right? Like I would feel better with them saying, "Oh, it's a possibility he may come back in this game," and then versus he's not coming back. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. They don't want to. He already let us down by not playing. Do you want to let them down even more by saying he ain't coming back? Now nobody's gonna come to the game. You know what I mean? I just,
And
I think that
that's
you
what
gotta look at it like that.
that's what they think, and it's like if Kawhi doesn't play, then they're not going to buy tickets to come.
That's fact. I'm like
So
that. If Kawhi's not playing, I'm not buying a ticket. I'm not signing up for season tickets if he's not going to be there. Well, P wasn't there, and I didn't sign up because P left. So
yeah, that was your favorite player. I know that. That's another reason I'm a little bit salty because it's like PG was the insurance. Kawhi goes down, we still have Paul George to rely on. He can get us to the playoffs. He can sell tickets. If Kawhi goes down this time, we don't have no insurance.
yeah,
So
I don't think we
I, I
have the insurance.
I'm like having Kawhi Leonard is like having a Mercedes Benz, a Camaro, a nice luxury car with no insurance.
Mm,
That's like Kawhi.
yeah.
It's nice to drive. It's you take it out, you sparkly, you yelling, all that good stuff. But if something happens to the engine or the body or something, you get into an accident, you have no insurance. Game over.
Mm-hmm. No warranty. No
No
warranty
warranty.
and no insurance.
That's a bad idea.
That
So
sucks.
that's why I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like this off season there's been a lot of quirky decisions. How do you feel about the off season?
I've been distracted. So, I mean, I'll just say listening to Frank's interview. I know you said off season, but I'm hopeful because he sounds very convincing to me that we're going to have a good season. People are going to be very surprised. I think with the good pickups and with Jeff Van Gundy and the new arena, we have to be able to pull this through this year. Like I know last year it should have been a year with Pete there, but I mean, we got some new additions, and I'm hopeful like he is. So when training camp, media day, we'll hear what they got to say, see what training camp look like, and then see who gonna get those 2 spots, and then I'll be like, okay, we ready.
So, President of Basketball Operations Lawrence Frank came out with a press conference yesterday, and he spoke about how they're not going to have Kawhi Leonard actually in full contact drills at training camp, but more so
Mhm.
strengthening drills individually. So, how do you feel about that? Where he's not going to be physically fully active in training camp?
Well, I think that makes sense. Like I told you before, I want Kawhi to be protected until he needs to play. So if he doesn't need to do all of that extra drill work, he's done it before. Why make him do it again? Some of that drill work might end up inflaming his progress of his swelling to go down. And that's not what they want. They want it to continue to progress and the swelling to go down. And maybe those drills might not help with that. The strengthening is probably what's going to help. I don't know what strengthening he's going to do. Maybe bike rides or I don't know. But I think the strengthening part is the best thing. for him. Forget them drills. What's part of the drills? What do they do in the drills?
Drills, they get more in condition and ready for the preseason and regular season. That's training camp.
Well, if he's been conditioning all season, all off season, then what's missing a couple of drills ain't gonna do nothing to him. I don't think.
I don't know. It's a little
What
difference from training camp. Like
you think he
well,
should do the drills?
I don't know it's specific what drills they doing. I do know training camp gets you in shape. Like you said, you've been away from the team. That's when the team bonds, and that's when the
Yeah.
team actually gets in shape. And it's different from what you do individually. Like Kawhi works out like all the time
Mm-hmm.
individually, but it's different from the team when you actually working out with them and getting the game feel and all that good stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure they saying just training camp he's not going to be available in preseason. It's kind of up in the air. Lawrence Frank said he doesn't have a crystal ball,
Mm-hmm.
so he don't know when is he going to actually start playing, which kind of bothered me because I'm like,
Yeah.
at this point, you talking about the swelling is almost gone. I didn't like hearing that.
Yeah.
It's been that was we in September. That was back in May.
Yeah. Well, four
What
more
type?
weeks. 4 more weeks. 4 more weeks. Let's be hopeful. They got to return it on the 23rd of October, so it's not a preseason game. He returning.
Where'd you see that?
ESPN on the
Oh,
injury list.
on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm. So
Mm,
he's ready for the game,
man, you
but
gotta
it's a day to day.
say day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what what has been these last 4 years like for you? With Kawhi's injuries, have you lost hope? Have you been up and down? What is your emotions taking at this point when you talk about him and his injuries?
Well, they get on my nerves. Like he seems to get injured at the wrong time, and it just bothers me that he doesn't have the staff or the trainers to make sure that that doesn't happen. Like, can y'all get ahead of that? It just really makes me second guess who we have in the back, helping our players.
Right.
So
So you think it's
it's been a roller coaster for real.
you think it's a management thing?
I think it's a collection of management, training, allowing players to do what they want,
Mm,
collection of different things. But I know it frustrates me when Kawhi doesn't play because you know how good he is. You know what he can do when he's out there. You know everything about him when he's on the floor, how much he can contribute. And when he's not there from an injury, and he's sitting there looking
hmm
like whatever. Let me collect this million. And I'm sitting on the bench in regular clothes, and you at the game. It's frustrating to see him sit there like that.
So
So
you know how the mindset he wants to play.
yeah, I think he wants to play, but I think that he's very protective over his health. Like he wants to make sure like he's 100%. He doesn't want to play just because somebody is making him play. He wants to play when he's ready to play, when his body is right. And they protecting their asset. They don't want him to be playing and get hurt, and then now he's just sitting out 2 more seasons. That's a waste of money.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
So what
protect him.
I feel like you said, I think it's training and his workload. I think
Mm-hmm.
he trains a little bit too hard for his own good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he trains himself. You can overtrain, you can overwork yourself to the point where you have injury.
Yeah.
And when you say it happens the same time every single year, that tells me that the season and how he's playing and what he's asked to do, and he gets hurt at the same time, that doesn't that's not a coincidence to me.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt in the playoffs or he gets hurt at the regular end of the regular season. That's something where his body's not responding. He's not being able to hold up for an entire year. And what could the trainers really do? And what could they really do to actually prolong his season?
Put him in a smaller position. That's like they gonna do this season, hopefully. give him some more support, take him out of those situations where he has to work that hard. I mean, there's different ways to do that, but like in those little games under the teams that are under 500, Kawhi don't need to play those games. He can sit out on some of those games. He doesn't need to play all the games. I think this whole low managed thing that they are trying to stress is, I think they need to leave that alone. Like, some players really need to be low managed, like they really do. And Kawhi is one of them because of the type of body type that he has. Everybody don't have a body type like that, and you got to give him special consideration for his body not working right.
Yeah, I think I remember something about him with the media day last year. He talked about how he's not trying to sit out games, and what he was doing in Toronto, it wasn't something where it was something they had to do because he was coming off an injury. So it wasn't something that, oh, let's just do load management across the league like they doing now and let's have it work. No, he was really hurt coming to Toronto, so he had to do that to get through the season.
Yeah, just little haters.
Yeah, just little haters. And I mean, Kawhi basically said at the press conference and at media day, like, I'm not trying to sit out. Like, who wants to work out all year just to sit out? So that makes perfect sense.
He said, "Don't put that on me.
don't put that.
This ain't got nothing to do with me." And it's true. It's a lot of other players sit out too. It's just not him. It's just not him.
Yeah. Do Kawhi Leonard do you feel like his teammates, how do you feel his teammates are looking at all this? The ones that have been there for multiple years?
You
know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Know what I'm talking about.
Like, I know the specific player you're talking about.
Everybody that's PG, Nico, Mook, Reggie, Pat, T-Man, Norm.
It seemed like he got along with everybody. I don't know what their personal relationships were, but if I was on the team and I see the player that's getting the most money sitting out and doesn't seem like anybody's doing anything about it, and we don't know that's just an assumption, I would be looking at him side-eyed, and I may not want to play so hard, but at the same time, we a team and we can't really control certain things. So I don't know. That's a hypothetical.
Because ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Like,
ain't nobody.
It's like, as he's a franchise player, so you're not finna cross him. So,
but under your breath, you might be like that. Maybe I don't know. But they say Kawhi's fun. He's a cool guy. I think he is. I think so he's too. A cool person.
But I think he wants to. I think he wants to play. I think they need to put that out there. I think people got to stop acting like he don't want to play. Like, that's just,
he loves basketball. That's all he knows how to do. That's all he know how to do is play basketball. Well, he probably know how to do some other things, but he loves basketball. He's not giving that up yet.
We got to talk about this too. If Kawhi Leonard doesn't finish this year, and that God forbid he doesn't.
That he does finish this year.
I'm sorry, that he does finish this year.
Yeah.
Do you think about ever blowing it up and letting him go?
Yeah, I've thought about life without Kawhi. I have. I mean, it's gonna happen. So, gotta prepare for it now. Who knows? If he plays the whole year, if he's gone next year, who knows? Just got to start preparing without him.
Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about it too. It's like, if he doesn't finish this year, I'm cool with moving on, because I think we've had a long enough leash to give him enough time to finish a playoff postseason. He's only finished one, and that was in the bubble. So he's had four seasons. If he doesn't finish this year, it'll be 5, where it just didn't work out. So it's like, at what point do you finally cut the leash?
That's crazy.
It's crazy. He's played 4 of the last 19 playoff games.
Dang, that's crazy. Like you've been here 5 seasons and you only been in the playoffs once.
Once.
Our franchise player one time.
A player of that caliber. I'm telling you, we ain't seen this before. Player of this caliber being out this amount of time.
So based off his history, we have to assume that he's gonna miss this playoffs too. Unless they do something dramatically different.
Well, that's what I was talking about today about the reasons why I think that I think personally it's a workload slash training slash
Mm-hmm.
his body issue. Meaning, okay, so this year he played 68 games. It's the most games he's
Mm-hmm.
played with us. He looked like he was going to finish. Towards the end, miraculously, he started having swelling. And I think personally, once a lot of players got injured, Zubac got injured, Russ got injured, Norm got injured, it looked like PG for a certain period of time was struggling. It put more stress on Kawhi to have to do more on the court. And I think that contribute to the immediate swelling into his knee.
Mm-hmm.
So you asking this man, first off, he plays offense and defense at elite level.
Mm-hmm.
That's a workload in itself. Like you asking me to score 25, 30 points while guarding the other player, the best player on the other team from scoring 25, 30 points. That's the hardest thing to
Mm-hmm.
do in the league, be a two-way player. So he's asked to do a lot of stuff on the court where I think that contributes. And then you factor in how hard he works and trains
Mm-hmm.
and breaks his body down. And the injuries he's already had with the ACL tear and the meniscus tear, I think it all contributes in one where now they're building a team primarily on defense where that can help Kawhi on the defensive end and
They
with
can
his
relieve it.
workload.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where it's kind of contributed to like why he's having these I mean not minor, but he's having these injuries at
Mm-hmm.
a certain part of the
These
year.
flare ups, the inflammation of stuff that's already been messed up.
Exactly.
Yeah, based off of his playing style. Yeah, yeah, his ankles and his knees.
Ankles and knees. It's the only team that we've seen that hasn't been able to really crack this whole load management thing. This is the only team. We the only team that hasn't. The Spurs, he was able to play multiple playoffs. The Raptors, he's only played one playoff with us in 5 seasons.
Well, Frank said they talking to the best of the best. They got the best of the best, and they answering questions and they finding out different strategies, and
Yeah.
so
Frank gonna always clean up the mess.
that's what he does. He's a mess cleaner.
Yeah. But before we go, what did you think about this report last or a couple weeks ago when they had this out about Kawhi's um he's having issues. The Chinese agent putting this out on Twitter.
What's that?
Speaking of, so 2 weeks ago there was a tweet put out there on sports saying that Kawhi was still dealing with injury, or he was still not 100%, and it came
Mm,
from this Chinese agent apparently who was linked to Kawhi, which I don't know how this got linked out or whatever it came from, but this was on Twitter,
the messy
and they
media.
said
Mm-hmm.
the media day they're going to address it. The Clippers have a press conference yesterday, and which I thought was a little ironic, but when I first seen this tweet, I was kind of like pushing it to the side. But then as time has gone on more and more, I'm starting to think there might be some legitimacy to this.
Mm. So I think this is what I saw about Kawhi. I was like, why is somebody from Asia or China saying anything
Yeah.
about Kawhi? So I didn't pay attention to it. Somebody was like
Yeah.
fake news, da 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 da. So I'll just put
Right.
it to the back burner. And then I
Right.
saw something else about Kawhi having a procedure. I'm like, okay, where are we
Mm-hmm.
going with this? And then now everything is coming out. So this is the messy media person who put something out there for what? What was the point?
I I don't know. That's a good question.
A
I don't know.
supposed agent from the former Spurs forward, a supposed age, a supposed. Come on, look at the
Supposed
word. A supposed
so,
agent from
supposed
the
agent.
former Spurs. Oh my God, no, a supposed agent. No, it's suspect from the top.
Supposed agent. Yeah.
Yeah, they
But it's
use they use these iffy words.
Yeah, these
What you think
keywords.
about it?
I
Think
just think it. I didn't pay
Mhm.
no attention to it at first either until they're saying that he might not be ready for training camp after all this time, and he still has swelling in his knee. That's what Lawrence Frank said. I didn't. I would not even look at this report if Lawrence Frank didn't say what he said.
But Ty Lue said he was ready for training camp like weeks ago.
They said that he was good after the before the Olympics. Now Lawrence Frank saying they're not going to put a bunch of. So it's like, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? There you go. They're not telling us everything.
But are they supposed to? Are
You're
they
not supposed.
obligated to
You're
tell
not
us?
supposed to, but you can't draw back on what you originally said. If you said he was ready, you can't say he's not. He's not going to participate. That means he wasn't ready. You might as well just not have
Yeah.
said anything.
Yeah. Well, Frank did say the swelling was going down, but the swelling didn't go down in the time frame that we thought that it was gonna go down. So they thought he was ready, but the swelling didn't go down at the pace that they thought it was gonna go down, and now he's not. That's the way I
Okay,
look at it. They thought
they
based off
thought.
he said based off the time frame given for this type of injury, it's not happening in that time frame. So we have to extend it, which means he can't do the drills. He has to continue with the strengthening. So I understand that. I get that.
So my question would be, what did he do to get the swelling back? Season ain't started. He ain't played no 5-on-5. He doesn't. What is he? What has he done to already hit this
The
quote
swelling,
unquote? Yeah, how did this swelling come back?
I don't know, maybe just walking, maybe regular activity. I don't know, jogging. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know. Because your regular activity can also affect your, professional activity.
Yes.
He could be running at 5 o'clock when he's not supposed to, and it got some swelling. I don't know. I'm just making excuses or just trying to find solutions.
We
But
all trying to find solutions. We all trying to figure out what the
so,
hell going on.
so what would you like the Clippers to say to satisfy you?
For one, I would like them to stop with this gamesmanship when knowing damn well that he's not coming back because it
And
doesn't work. Like it, if you know he has a torn ACL, it is no
Mhm.
point in saying he might be back. Unless I get it, you want to sell tickets, but
Mm.
that's all it is. That's
Hmm.
all it is. That's
So
that's
he's our
that's what it.
little promotion cow.
Of course, that's Kawhi Leonard. That's the top 5 player. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you if you say he's gonna, like you said, if he's not playing, are you buying tickets?
No, but if I know that it's a possibility he could play it, I'm gonna buy
You're
a
gonna
ticket.
you're gonna buy them tickets, exactly, and that's all that is.
Bingo.
That's all it is. You ain't fine.
Yeah.
You ain't finna watch a bunch of role players. No disrespect to any of our other guys, but
Mm-mm.
man, you gotta
Nah.
sell that arena out.
Yeah. I'm not coming to see Nico.
I'm
Not
coming
like
to see
that, but
some
you know what I'm
Chris
saying.
Chris Dunn and
Yeah. Oh my
Mo
God, I gotta see
Bamba.
Chris Dunn. Lord have mercy. Let me hurry up and get this $900 ticket. No.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Mm-mm.
and you damn sure ain't finna buy a season ticket off of. That's not selling by that. You're not selling it through Chris Dunn.
Mm-mm. No, not even with the new players that we got. No, I need to know that I have somebody in there who is gonna make a difference in the game.
Exactly.
So, and James ain't gonna be enough.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
needs.
a LA. He's a LA product from the heart of
Mm-hmm.
LA. So
Mm-hmm.
if he can't be enough, then yeah. And that's another thing too. We lost 2 guys who brought a huge fan base here. So you know, man,
You should have told me you were putting that up. My Fantastic Four.
yeah, that was.
James Harden is a lot slimmer though now.
Oh yeah, he's been in the lab.
They said he working on the weekend. He coming in doing overtime. He doing his thing.
Yeah, I believe it.
I miss
James
bro.
has always been a hard worker.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I wonder if he's
So,
happy.
oh, he's definitely happy.
No, I'm talking about Brody.
He had a press conference with Denver today.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that. I wanted to see his. I want to see PG's. I want to see his, and I want to see what Kawhi got to say.
Well, we'll see on Monday. We will
Mm-hmm.
all see everything on Monday. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mid, give your last thoughts before we end the show.
Stay humble. We got the seasons right around the corner, and we need everybody to be invested mentally. I know it's hard, but it ain't nothing easy about being a Clipper fan, and it's real ones that are Clipper fans. So I need everybody to stay,
Stay.
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 Mm-hmm. Don't leave.
Well, that's a wrap for the Bleav in Clippers episode. Again, you guys follow us on all our social media
Mm-hmm.
platforms on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of our social Apple podcasts as well. You guys can follow us on Bleav
Mm-hmm.
in Clippers. Follow Mrs. Mint J on her podcast, Black and Love and Basketball
Black
Podcast.
love.
Why
Yep.
you call it that, Mr. J?
Because I love Black love, and we need more of it. And I try to focus and blend basketball with Black love. And you know what? I think basketball is my first love, honestly.
It
And,
is.
and I just put them together.
Just mix them all
Mm-hmm.
in one. You took the
Mm-hmm.
black love. You took the love in basketball and put black love in basketball.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wrap. We're gonna leave it there. So make sure you guys, like I said, continue to follow us. And last but not least, go LA Clippers.
LA.
Peace.
Yeah.